What's going on, everyone? How we doing? What's good? All right, quick life update. I can't find my freaking sandals, my slippers. Like, I can't find them anywhere. So if you're wondering why I'm sitting down so much, this is a standing desk and I'm sitting down because I can't find my sandals and my slippers. So if anyone stole my sandals or my slippers, be sure to let me know. What's up, Mr. Geeby? How we doing? What up, his story? How we doing? Just watched day one. Damn, bro. Let's go. Let's go. I feel like you'll see a big difference between me when I was on day one versus me now, to be honest. Huge difference. I'm very proud of the experience that I've had and how far I've come. Not to say I'm like even that good, to be honest. I feel like I'm still a bit of a pleb when it comes to these things, but I just feel like I like have a bit more of that like confidence, you know? Like I feel like I can understand a bit more about like what's going on. And if you watched yesterday's live stream, don't actually, hey, Mr. Geeby, don't watch yesterday's live stream. Actually, that'll probably make you change your mind. But yesterday's live stream was a bit of a shit show because I just lost full control of my Openclaw, and no matter what I did, I couldn't figure out how to fix it. And it kind of gave me like this epiphany. It gave me this epiphany because I realized, okay, when you actually look at why my Openclaw was messing up and what actually was behind it, it was due to a recent update, okay? And Openclaw recently did an update where they increased the security of the Openclaw by reducing its permissions and not letting it read files off of the rip. And this just broke everything. It literally broke everything. Like the app factory couldn't even function and work without the Openclaw. So it's gotten to a point now where I'm like, okay, like I don't know if I want to have a variable like that affecting my app factory. Like I don't know if I want that to affect what I'm building. So I'm actually thinking, and shout out to Nose Knight, aka Ban, for kind of bringing this up. But I'm actually thinking that we could implement Agent SDK into this, because when you actually break down why we use Openclaw for the app factory, it's due to it being an orchestrator that basically makes all the agents speak to each other. You know, AI agent speaks to number 2, agent number 2 speaks to number 3, agent number 3 speaks to number 4. And that is how the orchestration and app factory works, right? In its simplest form. And so our Openclaw is now a variable, which we actually can't control because we're able to control everything. And Nose Knight put it in a good way where, you know, Opus 4.6 is so powerful and Codex 5.4 is also very powerful. How do you control that? You know, what is the harness to control these tools? And if it's Openclaw, maybe Openclaw isn't the best harness for a tool so powerful. When you look at Claude Code and what they've built already, they literally have cron jobs built in. They have everything built in that we need. And they've created their own harnesses to control Opus 4.6. So it makes sense that we should just be using that. And so today, what I kind of want to do is basically fix the back end of the app factory, which is right here, as you can see. And what I kind of want to do is I want to fix a few things that are going wrong. And if we can do that, I'm happy. Like, let's also double check, did any of our apps get accepted in the app factory? We did submit 2 apps got rejected, which we resubmitted. let's go ahead and have a look. They got rejected again. Okay, interesting. Now, Warranty Vault, I'm curious why it's taking so long to get. Reviewed. Jim Snap got rejected again. Upon further review, we identified additional issues that need your attention. We are unable to complete the review of the app because one or more of the in-app purchase products have not been submitted for review. We specifically the app includes references to subscriptions, but the associated in-app purchase products have not been submitted for review. Okay, so we keep getting this one issue which we haven't figured out how to fix yet. Because I don't see your app was rejected and no other items submitted can be accepted or approved. You can make edits to your app. We are unable to complete. To resolve this issue, please be sure to take action and submit and upload a new binary in App Store Connect so we can proceed with our review. Note, you must provide an app review screenshot. I swear we did this. But anyway, this isn't going to be our focus today. Our focus is going to be on implementing Agent SDK. So, how much money did Openclaw apps generate? They haven't generated anything yet because we've only just submitted 2 apps yesterday, which we still need to market. So that's the other thing I also want to think about is the app factory uses Agent SDK, but I think the marketing side still needs to use Openclaw to use the Larry marketing skill and then use Openclaw with the Larry marketing skill. I think that's still the best method there. Is the app factory live? I mean, it's live for me. Do you orchestrate code agents with Openclaw, Claude CLI or something? Yeah, I mean, that's what we did. That's how we have been operating up until this point in time. Except I don't think it's actually the best approach. I think we need to implement Agent SDK. So for those who don't know what Agent SDK is, it's basically Claude trying to copy Openclaw. Build AI agents that autonomously read files, run commands, search the web, edit code, and more. The Agent SDK gives you the same tools, agent loop, and context management that power Claude Code, programmable in Python and TypeScript. So, we kind of need to actually construct a really big prompt right now. So let's go ahead and just go to docs. All right, so we have a problem. Start with that. Up until this point, over the last 2 weeks, we've been building this autonomous app factory, Sheldon, using Openclaw as the orchestrator that controls the AI agents and directs them through each phase once the previous phase is completed. Now, yesterday we found this to be a major problem because Openclaw is bringing out updates every single other day. And these frequent updates can actually create variables that are outside of our control, which can inherently actually break our autonomous app factory. So, in order to reduce these variables and to increase our scalability, I would like to implement Agent SDK. So let's go into plan mode, and I want you to list out everything that our Openclaw was handling. I want you to list out the orchestration layer. I want you to list out, how it was talking to the agents, what its role was, its identity, everything. And I want you to list it out and see how we can use the Agent SDK now instead of Openclaw to run the autonomous app factory. Now, I want you to keep in mind that we will be packaging this App Store, not App Store, App Factory, as an installable app. And so for that level of scalability, I want you to start thinking about, okay, how can we package this? Do we even want to go through a trial run? And how does the agent SDK fit into this? And, you know, how are the users going to be able to input their AI API keys, etc. All right, there's our prompt. I actually forgot how to go to plan mode. Yep, there we go. Okay, boom. Let's see how we go. Oh, actually, let's actually save chat history. And I want to start with a fresh terminal because that'll help. It just feels nicer when you start a new project, you just start with a fresh terminal. What up, Drew? How we doing? Let me chuck some music on. That's not too loud, is it? Man, I gotta increase my music library. Starting to get a bit bored of the songs that I'm playing. What's GymSnap? GymSnap is basically an AI photography app where you can take a photo of your gym, like you're posing and shit, and it'll like scan like how big your biceps are, and then you can compare it to like a future photo, and it will like tell you like, oh, you've grown like X amount on your biceps and stuff. What is Agent SDK? We're using Claude and OpenAI for the app factory, but I think for the orchestration layer, we're going to use Claude. Problem is with Agent SDK, you're starting from zero. Oh, I hate starting from zero, but it's real production level solution though. Well, that's the thing, right? I had this exact same thought myself. I was like, man, Openclaw's already built. Like, it saves you the hassle of having to build that thing. What's up, old kick? How you doing? But, you know, I like the fact that it's not going to break once I built it, you know? And Openclaw, man, if you watched last live stream, it was so frustrating, man. So frustrating. I think that's probably the most I've been frustrated in a live stream, was the last live stream, day 42. Dude, I was crashing out. Man. Chat was like pissing me off too. You guys telling me that like I'm doing shit wrong, and then I asked you what the problem is, and you guys don't even tell me what the problem is. Oh, bro, it was insane. It was insane. Okay, this is not what I wanted, so I'm just gonna go ahead and terminate. Gonna go ahead and terminate this. I want to start a new terminal, and let's Claude dangerously skip. Read our previous chat history so you are fully up to date. Actually, let me just double check. Is that all of our Claude terminals? Yeah, okay. We are back. What up, Vince? How you doing? Oh, you already love terminal? Was not like that in day one? Yeah, dude. Hey, day one is a different me, man. All good, my bro. Been learning marketing last couple days. I'm trying to pump my X for my app launch. Yo, good luck with that, Drew. I see you've been super active on there. Good shit. Keep it up, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Why are people buying Mac Minis for Openclaw? I mean, can't you host VPS, which costs way less, especially if you don't have the money? I mean, yeah, 100%. But I have the money, so it's fine. You can definitely get like 95% of Openclaw's use cases, maybe even 100 if you just VPS it. It's good to pivot when something is not working. Yeah, I agree. Doobie, if you need help today in live stream, DM me. After all, I should be your tech support for all Openclaw DevOps problems. Yo, true. That's a good point. For those who don't know, recently I brought Vincent on to build some cool Discord bots for the Discord. So you guys should check out the Discord if you haven't already. We're also kind of making some, I guess, tutorials on how to set up Openclaw. We've got, you can see up here in bot testing, Vince is testing out some bots. You can see also in the, over here, it's like answering Openclaw questions. So we're really trying to upgrade our Discord right now. So super, super excited to share that with you. Be sure to check it out if you're not in the Discord already. But gonna have some fire shit with these new Discord bots coming soon. Doobie can tell y'all all about it. Bro, you're watching the stream like 5 minutes delayed or something, man? All right, it's up to date now. Let me put it in plan mode. So it'll be interesting because I haven't played around with Agent SDK yet. So we're gonna go through this together, all right, guys? If you haven't touched Agent SDK yet, then we're both in this together, okay? Because I haven't even looked at it. So I've sent the prompt that I just came up with earlier in the live stream. Let me just look at the docs. You know what really helps though? Like a video. Is there like a video? I feel like I'm a visual learner, you know? Build a bug fixing agent in minutes. Show me the video, man. Agent SDK Claude. Is there like a Claude Agents SDK beats all agent frameworks? All right, that came out on the 4th of October though. I think Openclaw came out after that. I want like a quick, is there like a 5-minute video? How I get inbox 0 every single day with Claude and Agent Mail. I don't want Claude all agent frameworks. Build and deploy. All right, screw it. All right, I want to watch this while our Claude code is planning. Yeah, W Agent SDK, you are in control, but you could also fork Openclaw. Still, if you get too behind updates, you cooked. Or use OpenWork, much more stable than Openclaw. OpenWork, haven't heard of that one before. Screw these delays, shaking my head. I swear I sent that before you talked about the bots. OpenWork. Open source Claude code alternative. There's a desktop app that lets you use 50 plus LLMs, bring your own keys. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna watch this real quick. I just kind of want to skim through it.
Different AI agents and solve complex tasks. Claude Agent SDK. Create different AI agents and solve complex tasks. Claude released Agents SDK to interact with Claude Code. Claude Code is one of the most advanced CLI tool which can build features from descriptions, debug and fix issues, navigate any code base, automate tedious tasks.
See, I feel like Openclaw can navigate any code base, automate tedious tasks really, really well. Debug and fix issues, I don't know about that one. Build features from descriptions. Yes, I've seen it do it, but it can break while building those features.
But now you can integrate Claude Code within your own application using Claude Agent SDK. And I'm going to take you through step by step how to make your AI application Claude powered, create a basic agent, agent with internal tools, agent with custom tools, and Claude Code options. That's exactly what we're going to see today. Let's get started.
Ooh, shout out Mervin
First step,
Prayson.
open terminal from your computer. There you're going to install Claude Code using this command.
Oh, he goes from
I will
the
put all the
start.
code and the commands in the description below.
He goes
So
from the
after this,
start.
click enter. SDK and then install the basic Claude
Oh,
code.
wait.
Next, pip install
Claude Agent SDK, you got to install that too? Alright. Let me just go ahead and... I didn't realize you had to install the
Claude
Agent SDK as well. Yo, did he not say he'd have all the... Oh yeah, there he is. I was like, bro, I hate when they do that. What? Is his different? Install Claude Agent SDK. Pip install Claude Agent SDK. Guys, why is it not working? I watched a video by Chris Rarok on Claude SDK. That was more interesting. Oh yeah? I actually really like him, so let's try that. Actually, how long is that one though? Is this one? That's not it. Oh, this one.
To store and maintain that system is also...
How I built perfect AI agent in 1 week? Nah, but this isn't... I feel like that's not going to tell us like what Claude SDK is. Yo, what's going on here? Why is it messing up? Okay. It's alright. Let's give him a go. Let's give him a go.
Claude Code options. That's exactly what we're going to see today. Let's get started.
I have to install pip first. Please install pip agent SDK for me.
First step, open terminal from your computer. There you're going to install Claude Code using this command. I will put all the code and the commands in the description below. So after this, click enter. That will install the basic Claude code. Next, pip install.
Package name might be different. Let me check the correct name. Okay.
Claude Agent SDK and then click enter.
Yo, did
That
I
is the
say
main
that?
Claude.
Hold up. I said agent SDK. Should probably say please install Claude Agent SDK. And I'll even link the docs just in case. Probably unnecessary.
Agent SDK package, which is used to interact with Claude Code. Next, just type export Anthropic API key equals, and you can generate this API.
Wait, do you need the API key to run SDK? Surely you can just run it through your subscription, right? Yo, what up, Damon? Welcome.
API key from platform.claude.
Because ideally, if anyone installs the Autonomous App Factory, like they should just be able to use their Claude subscription. I don't want them having to add an API key.
.com. There you can see API keys here. Paste the API key here and then
Let me ask Claude. Do you need to use Anthropic's API key to use Claude's Agent SDK? Yo, also 2x usage on Claude Code Max plans right now. So be sure to abuse it. This is installing. This is still planning. This is a major architectural shift. Let me thoroughly explore the current Openclaw orchestration layer before designing the replacement. I'll launch 3 explore agents in parallel to map out everything. Cool, using agent teams. Yes, you do need an Anthropic API key to use the Claude Agent SDK. The quick start guide instructs you to get an API key from... What do you mean? Can I use my Claude subscription for Agent SDK? Okay, can I connect Google's Gemini API to my Claude SDK? Cause man, having Opus for that would be crazy. Yo, Doc. I haven't seen you in a minute. I'm good, bro. What's up with all these OGs coming in all of a sudden? What's going on, Doc? How you been? No, you can't use Google's Gemini API. Okay. All right. That's okay. All right. So I want to use Claude Code's Agent SDK to be the orchestration layer for my complex agent build, where it basically orchestrates each agent to talk to one another. Now that requires heartbeats and that requires cron jobs. I want to use cheaper models to run the heartbeats and cron jobs, and then more expensive models to run the more complex tasks. How do you suggest I go about this? I'm not looking to waste $100 a month on heartbeat and cron job checks. How much is Haiku these days? Open router. $0.50 isn't bad. Opus and then Sonnet. Okay. So $1, $5, $3. Oh, this really keeps you like stuck inside of Openclaw though, you know? Not Openclaw. This really keeps you stuck inside of Claude Code. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be trapped inside of their ecosystem. Olama for heartbeat. The thing is, I don't want to complicate the build either. Like, this is something that needs to be scalable across and packaged for different setups. And if we add all these additional kind of requirements to it, it's just going to be difficult. Like you build something differently when there's only one person using it versus 10 people using it versus 50 versus 100 versus 1,000. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, how can I... Do you believe Claude is dangerous? I mean, yes, to an extent. It can definitely be used for dangerous things. We've seen Claude hack literally the Mexican government and steal 150 million documents. So it can definitely be quite dangerous. Sorry, I haven't been reading chat too much. What up, Furka? Welcome back to the stream. Got busy with university lately. Happy to see the growth. You're doing awesome job. Appreciate you, Doc, man. Hey, you were there. You were there. You were there when I first started, man. I remember you, man. You were on day one. All right. Haiku. So we can use Haiku for cron jobs. Let me just ask. Probably $15, $5 to $15 a month. Okay, so let's say we use Haiku for heartbeat and cron jobs. Okay, how frequently? Actually, that's the wrong question. How much would it cost to run a heartbeat check every 5 minutes and a cron job every 2 hours on a month-to-month basis? Now, obviously, there's a lot of variables, but I kind of really just want to understand. Hey, appreciate you, Doc. Keep going, buddy. From Replit to here. Let's go. Let's freaking go. Shout out, Doc, man. Yo, shout out Doc for real. Yeah, Doc and Drew. I'm pretty sure on day one, I had 3 people watching me. And 2 of them were Doc and Drew. Like, that's funny as. All right, heartbeat every 5 minutes. 30 days. $5.60? A cron job. These are heavier. Maybe checking your queue, summarizing. Now, that's obviously going to vary a lot depending on the specific heartbeat or cron job, right? Like how many tokens that's going to take up? Or is this just kind of like a general blanket on how much it could cost? All right, anyway, let's keep watching this video because I don't know. I wasn't expecting to
click enter. Next, create
only
a file called
accepting API
app.py
keys.
and let's open it. First, we are going to create a basic agent. First step.
Hang on a second. Is this including API costs? What makes it cheaper than? That's a general baseline estimate. Okay. Now is this taking Anthropic's API costs into account, or is this just using a user's plan? Because we're only using the API, so.
Import async IO, then from Claude Agent SDK,
Whoa, what the
import
hell?
query. There, like a loop. So
This is getting a bit too confusing for me.
So here's the loading here. To write that.
Oh, this is
created.
a shit video. It's too technical. Let's go agent SDK Claude tutorial. Dude, has no one got like a good tutorial? Am I gonna have to make one? Maybe we do need to watch the Chris video. Let's go filter 3 to 20. Claude agent complete walkthrough in 12 minutes.
Right. We have Claude Agent SDK.
Oh, nah, man. Nah, come on, man. New Claude SDK full setup guide. How to use Claude Agent SDK for beginners. In 7 minutes. Claude code. Nah. Dude, no one's actually made a good video about this. Yo, Okick. Is you shout out. Would you shout out Chris? Should I watch it? You know what? Screw it. Chris makes good videos anyway. I actually really like Chris. Chris Rar. I don't know how to spell his last name. Yeah, here we go.
System is also. So I spent about a week building my own.
Yes, those numbers are purely API costs. Okay, you might pay $2. All right. That's cool. Let me just look at this real quick. Let me know if I'm moving around too much, but done. Claude Agent SDK is installed. Here's the summary. Okay. Excellent. I now have a complete picture of the entire system. Let me now launch a plan agent to design the agent SDK migration strategy. I have a couple important questions before we finalize. Incremental. Can you guys see this, by the way? Let me. Should we do a trial run first? Keep spawn project lead.sh, just replace Openclaw scheduling with Python, or go straight to the full agent SDK swap? I think full rewrite. Replace everything at once. Openclaw, launch sh, and spawn project lead.sh. Oh, this is going to be a big task. Spawn project lead. Yeah, okay. You know what? I think we got to do a full rewrite. Replace Openclaw with Python scheduler. Still calls spawn project lead.sh. Swap Claude CLI for agent SDK. Test at each step. Replace everything at once. Openclaw, launch, and spawn project lead sh all become Python with agent SDK in one go. Okay. Full rewrite. For packaging, how do you want other users to install and run Sheldon? I think it's going to have to be double click to install GUI setup. I think it's going to be this. Pip install Sheldon factory, then Sheldon setup. Simplest auto updates via pip. Requires Python. Double click to install GUI setup. More polished but much harder to build. Harder to update and can break Xcode toolchain paths. Ooh. Users run brew install Sheldon. Clean macOS native experience but requires maintaining a homebrew tap. macOS.app bundle. Pip install. Let me just take a screenshot of these two. Does pip install require installing through terminal? As a non-technical, and I'm sure as others who are going to be non-technical using this, I kind of want to avoid using the terminal. So I want it to be something that you just double click and it installs for you. Watch it on 2x speed. All right, bet. Man heard the accent for 3 milliseconds and said, "Oh no." That's funny. That's funny as. I like using Minimax, costs literally zero because of their coding plan and has Anthropic compatibility API base. But you would need to find whether you can add like multiple providers if you also need to be smart. $2 is nothing. Yeah, it's actually really cheap. This is probably an off-stream task. Peep in command is command. Yeah, terminal command. Yo, bro, what's up? What up, Mizan Universe? How we doing? Requires using the terminal. Yeah, I think we do this. All right, macOS app. Where should users' workspaces live by default? Dedicated folder in home directory, clean separation from the package itself, projects, queue, credentials, all live here. All right. Submit. So I guess what we're going to do is we'll just operate Claude on the left while I understand SDK on the right.
Custom AI agent. By the end, I had an agent that could read and send iMessages for me, search my Slack, my Gmail, even pull data like reviews or build statuses from App Store Connect directly. I've been using it every day, and I was really hoping to release it and let other people use it, but I realized there's some major limitations that make that kind of difficult. We'll get into that later in the video. In this video, I want to walk through everything I learned about the agent SDK as I've been playing with it. We'll go through what it is, how it's so different, how I structured things when I was building with it, and hopefully by the end of it, you can start building on top of it too. And at a minimum, at least have a better understanding of the technology and how you can everything I'm learning here on this channel. Before we get into it, let me show you what I built in the week so you can get a sense of what's possible right now. So this is my custom agent, which I'm calling Luna L1. I even created this custom Luna Gachi, which is a mascot for the app, obviously based on my dog. On the surface, it looks like ChatGPT, but at least to me, it's way more powerful. I've got it connected to a bunch of tools that ChatGPT can have access to, like Slack, Gmail, Notion, but I also have it hooked up.
All right, that's way too fast.
to other things that ChatGPT can't get to, like my iMessages, for example. I can ask it something like, is there anything urgent I need to respond to? And unlike ChatGPT and other agents, which will probably just check the last 10 emails I had, maybe 1 or 2 Slack messages, this thing is way more thorough. It's really gonna go through the tools and think logically about what is urgent to me and then surf.
Shout out to you, G. I'm trying to the community, but your link is invalid. So chances are we have quite a high security in our Discord server. So if your name is like kind of funny, it's got like a weird string of numbers at the end of it, or if you don't have a profile pic, or if your account is only like less than 2 weeks old, we've been getting a lot of bot spam and security issues recently. So yeah, make sure you follow those requirements, and the link should be valid.
What it believes are urgent messages that I should respond to.
It's sad I was keeping up at 2x.
Sometimes 1 to 2 minutes to actually get a response, but I prefer that because the responses are usually way more accurate. I can even ask business questions like, what is my current churn rate? What version of Ellie is live on the App Store right now? Because it's hooked up to things like ChartMogul and App Store Connect, which I use to aggregate data from my apps. It has its own memory system, and it can run scheduled workflows. So every morning I'm having it summarize any action items I need to go through from the night before. And I made it available on web and iOS, so when something urgent comes in, it can actually just send me a push notification.
What makes the agent SDK?
So this is what I built with the agent SDK in about a week. It's much more personalized and in my opinion better than ChatGPT, but there are some serious limitations which we'll get to in the video. But for now, let's walk through how the agent SDK works and how agents work in general. If you've heard the word agent before and you're not totally sure what that means, it's actually a lot simpler than it sounds. An agent is really just 3 things: an LLM like Claude Sonnet or GPT.
Run code, web search, file edit, result, loop. Okay.
A set of tools which the LLM can then control, and a loop where the agent basically goes through this loop, executes tools, and keeps going until it feels like it completed the task. At the core, that is basically what an agent is. And here's a flow so you can visualize what this all looks like together. You basically give an AI a task, it thinks about what tool to use, executes that tool, and then it looks at the results and says, am I done here? Is there anything else I need? Should I go through the loop again? And it keeps repeating and looping, using more and more tools until it feels like it's completed the task. This is what an agent looks like. It's literally just
let's have a look here. Verification plan, unit test each tool, directly verify the work with proper scoping, test one phase end to end, run ideate for a test project via. I'll start by reading all the key source files to understand what needs to be ported. Let me do this in parallel. Okay.
just a while loop. You call an LLM, it decides what tool it's going to use, it's going to execute that tool, and then add the results back in, and then loop again. Even though this is a really simple example, there's still a lot of boilerplate code here, and you're the one that has to manage the conversation history, executing the tool calls, and dealing with all of the different edge cases that happens when you have a loop like this. But the good news is that people came up with a bunch of libraries to try to simplify this. And the most popular one, which has been around for a few months, is Vercel's AI SDK. So instead of all
Vercel AI SDK. The AI SDK way the difference between model providers, eliminates boilerplate code for building chatbots, and allows you to go beyond text output to generate rich interactive components. Okay.
in Convex. And a huge shout out to Convex for actually
Wait, is that the one we're watching? This one. Get rid of this.
all of this code to do the while loop. You can actually just replace it with something much simpler. It's the same exact functionality. SDK. So instead of all of this code to do the while loop, you can actually just replace it with something much simpler. It's the same exact functionality, but the AI SDK handles the loop, the tool call, the message conversation history, streaming, all of that stuff is handled for you under the hood. All you have to do is define the tools, you set the maximum number of steps, so basically when should the agent stop if it's not getting it, and then you let it run. This is how I've been building agents in all of my apps so far now. Okay, so the AI SDK from Vercel already exists, then what is all the hype about the agent SDK from Anthropic? What is different? At the end of the day, they're both gonna let you create an agent, but the way they go about it is completely different. To put it simply, the stuff you're given with the agent SDK is just much more powerful, because you get the same exact architecture and some of the same tools that you get with Claude Code. And Claude Code is currently one of the, if not the best agent on the market right now, which on paper, they look kind of similar, to be honest, but then in practice, you really can feel the difference. This is honestly a bit of an oversimplification just for the sake of the video, so let's get into some specifics of why the agent SDK is so interesting and how they implement things. One key difference is how it handles conversations in general. Typically with most frameworks like the AI SDK, you're gonna have to manually pass around a messages array, and you're the one that's gonna have to maintain that conversation history. With the agent SDK, it's much simpler. They'll give you a session ID, and they'll manage all of the context of the conversation for you. On that note, it also supports compaction automatically. And this is where when the conversation gets super long, it's actually gonna automatically summarize all of the earlier parts to save on tokens. This is the same thing that Claude Code uses, and it's a big deal if you're doing anything that has a long-running conversation. And the best part is you don't have to configure any of it. It just happens automatically when the context gets large. This is a really annoying thing you have to figure out and
that
implement
made no
yourself
sense.
if you were using something like the AI SDK. And the third thing is you get access to the same exact tools that Claude Code has access to.
Okay.
get bash for running commands, read and edit for files, grep and glob for searching, and even their web search and web scraping tool. And these are some of the best.
I'm almost tempted to watch it like this.
Default tools I have found, especially their web search tool. One hypothesis that I have is that since Cloud Code only has a few tools, Anthropic was able to really focus on making sure that they are very, very good. And you can take advantage of them because it just comes out of the box with this SDK. You also have access to a bunch of powerful things like you can define sub-agents and a whole bunch of stuff that we don't even have time to cover. I highly recommend looking at the Agent SDK documentation if you want to see the full capabilities of this SDK. It's not just one big innovation, it's honestly the combination of all of these small innovations that really make it feel like you're getting the same power as Cloud Code, but you can apply it to your specific use case. And then the big thing that really pushed it over the edge is Anthropic started allowing people to use their Anthropic subscription, so like your Cloud Code subscription, with the Agent SDK. So if you build something on top of the Agent SDK, instead of having to pay every time you consume tokens, they will just take it out of your Cloud Code subscription. And at the time of recording, the subscription is severely underpriced. Someone ran the
Dude, dude, did you just hear what he said? What? He just said that you can use Claude Code Agent SDK using your subscription. Why is it telling me that I can't? I just looked into this a bit further. Turns out you can actually use it with your subscription. So, what you saying? Come on, bruv.
calculations and said that if you pay for the $200 a month Claude Code plan, you get about $2,000 of API tokens out of it each month. So this is a huge deal for people who want to experiment and build their own custom agents for themselves. You can use the subscription and save a ton of money. One important caveat though, if you do plan on releasing this agent so other people can use it, they are not allowed to use your Claude Code subscription. You will have to switch to API billing to do that. On that note, some other things to know when going in, even though they
But if the user installs it themselves, then they should be able to use their own max plan, right?
will handle the sessions and the conversation context, you still are responsible for storing the conversation somewhere if you want to render it on a page, for example. I think they recently added the ability to pull the conversation from a specific session, but I think there's some limitations with that. Like the sessions.
Okay. All right. I think I got what I wanted out of that video. Zero workspaces, quick start, context windows, compaction, context editing, prompt caching, token counting, computer use tool, text editor tool, code execution, web fetch, web search, how to implement tool use. Where's models? Models and pricing. Claude is a family of state-of-the-art large language models developed by Anthropic. Models with the same snapshot are identical across all platforms and do not charge the snapshot date. Starting with Claude Sonnet 4.5 and all subsequent models, including Sonnet 4.6, AWS Bedrock and Google Vertex AI offer two endpoint types. Performance, migrating to Claude 4.6, get started with Claude, intro to Claude gets... Okay. Now, I think what I want to do is I kind of want Codex to alongside this build. Bro, it works with sub, but you maybe get banned. There was heated discussion between T3 Theo and Anthropic. They don't like it. They don't want you using sub in your production apps. What do you use to launch the app and see how far the app has progressed? Subs are subsidized by them. He's using it to build the apps, not the apps themselves. Yeah, Claude is actually that. Let's see what Claude said. Fair enough. I may have been wrong about that, or it could depend on what specific tool you're looking at. The screenshot shows Sheldon Factory, which is a different product from Claude Agent SDK we were discussing earlier. That you authenticate. Okay. Claude, man. I'm not going to lie. Claude chat. Now the entry point. Setup wizard and packaging files. I just know this is going to break. I'm hardening myself early because I know that this is a big build, which is going to break. Have I got codecs on here? Let me... Terminate. I can't remember if I installed codecs on here or not. Install codecs. Terminal. Mac OS. Yeah, but what app is it? Hey bro, what's new for today? We are building Agent SDK into our autonomous app factory and packaging it so it's nice and easy for others to use. Provide your own API key. Sign in with your device code. Sign in with ChatGPT. Usage included with Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprise plans. Let me just check what plan I've got. Because I want Codex to review. I've got Plus right now. So let's do that. Sign in with ChatGPT. Chuck a music back on. A bit loud. Use SDK using our current Claude subscription. No, the Claude subscription and the Anthropic API are separate products with separate billing. The API requires its own API key with pay per credits. Get an API key, go to your console, add billing, get a key. The factory would cost roughly $2 to $8 per app. Build phase with Opus is the main cost. Wait a second. Probably the move. Want me to modify like spawn project lead.sh does today. Agent SDK can be used with Claude Max Plan. Maybe it's a new thing. Peace out here, store. This makes it sound like also, hang on a second. Also, currently the app factory, the apps that are being built are using the Claude Max plan through the Claude CLI. This should stay the same. All we're doing is replacing Openclaw's role, which was the orchestrator, which connects the multiple AI agents together. This is the part that needs Agent SDK, not the actual app building phase. We've also got like Codex CLI in there as well for the review phase. This is all going to break if everything's just run with Agent SDK. Got it. I misunderstood the architecture. Let me clarify what you're saying. App building agents stay as Claude P CLI powered by your Max plan. Review verification stays as verify codecs via OpenRouter. Orchestrator layer, this is only part that changes Openclaw's cron agent SDK. So the agent SDK replaces Openclaw as the scheduler dispatcher, not the AI workers themselves. The phase runner should still pipe prompts to Claude P via sub processes exactly like Spawn does. Let me fix. Currently calls the Anthropic API directly, which would bypass your Max plan and break the existing Claude CLI plus codex setup. Man. Bro, Agent SDK is something you incorporate into your app, so it's against Anthropic's terms of service. Sub is only for developing the app itself, not for the app to work. It will work until they find out. But we're not using SDK for the app specifically. Like the app uses Gemini Flash for any AI integrations and stuff. Actually building the app is all we're doing. So Agent SDK can be used technically. We're not incorporating it into our apps. So technically, it should be okay. Try bridge space. It's best for you. Check now one time. I did actually have a look at bridge space. It looks pretty cool. Where is this being built? I'm gonna grab a quick drink of water. I'll be right back. Where is this being built? I would like to get codex to review. Have you uploaded? Can you add as repo to Git privately? Well, I mean, you want to make it part of the App Factory process, right? The App Factory is standalone app, so it still become part of it. I'm not talking about the apps created by App Factory. So do you think there's a loophole, right, where every person that installs the App Factory sets up the SDK themselves with their own Claude Max plan? You know what I mean? Okay, give me a prompt for Codex to review. He has zero context. Check DM, bro, when you get a chance. All right, we'll do. The other thing is, does anyone always think of Codex as a he for some reason? I don't know why. I always say he when I say Codex, like give him. Reviewing the orchestrator as a code review task. I'll inspect the key modules, trace the control flow. Around locking sub-process and state processes and summarize concrete findings while file reference and any residue test gaps. I've confirmed the repo and there's the core control flow is clear now. I'm checking the queue passing state. format assumptions. I found at least one likely logic regression relative to the old bash Q validation. What's the, we're GPT 4.5.4. Now around cross-process safety and packaging assumptions, not Python syntax. I'm doing a quick verification pass with the compile check and a couple of targeted searches for resource layout mismatch. Then I'll rewrite up findings ordered by severity. In terms of percentage from 0 to 100, how close are we to finishing this build? Okay. Updated plan. Summarize findings with severity high. The pair project lock is not race safe across. Okay. Here's the breakdown. Roughly 40%. Head, making it actually work end to end with a real project, integrating with the existing UI server, cleaning up all the hard-coded parts, and packaging it into a polished app that works on first launch. Yeah, that does sound pretty difficult. With this in mind, restructure your feedback for me to give back to Claude Opus 4.6. Revised progress assessment, about 30% complete toward production readiness. What is not done yet? So what is the feedback? Give me a prompt. I think this is 40% in production terms. Reassess the product using this standard. Ooh. This is nice, very concise. Please continue. Please continue. I've been hearing a lot about Ghostly. What's Ghostly? Is it Ghosty? Is a fast, feature-rich, and cross-platform terminal emulator that uses platform-native UI and GPU acceleration. Because now that I've been using the terminal for a while, I'm curious on improving my terminal experience. Do you guys have any recommendations? Have you made any money from YouTube? I've made a little bit. I can share my results if you want. This doesn't go towards the challenge, but if anyone's curious on starting their own YouTube channel or getting into content, these are my results right now. We've made $1,200 since in the last 28 days. And what's interesting is I've noticed every time I create a video, it actually, like the base gets like higher and higher. So you can see here the base was down to $17, but now the base gets down to $23. Here it's $25. It'll be interesting to see where the next base comes down, because I noticed the backlog of videos actually helps bring your views up. So super interesting. Wasn't expecting my last video to do as well as it did, to be honest. But yeah, these are kind of my results right now. There's a big spike here because of this video coming out, which is interesting because this video on its first day didn't generate that many views, I remember. So it will be interesting to see how this performs over the next few days. You will love what I sent you just now then? Alright, bet. You are building your SEO. Exactly, yeah. You are senior engineer to change to Vibecoder. Junior engineer can learn programming and create good product. Damn, I feel honored that you think I'm a senior engineer. But I am very far from that. If you watch my stream for longer than 30 seconds, you'll realize that I'm definitely not at that level. I am very non-technical. I never did any coding, and I'm vibe coding right now from zero coding experience. But yeah, hope that was helpful. Ghosty is a fast, feature-rich, and cross-platform terminal emulator that uses platform-native UI and GPU acceleration. Configuration ready to get up and running. Ready to run binaries for macOS packages or build from source for Linux. Explore custom key bindings through the keybind configuration option. Ghosty supports hundreds of configuration options to make it look and behave exactly how you want. Interesting. Now rewrite phase, okay. I'm just running standard terminal, yeah. Doobie is a 10x vibe coder. Damn, appreciate it. What are you running, Damon? I just watched your first video saying you'll make 100K that year. Did you succeed? I actually, believe it or not, I did make 100K that year. Yeah, I did. Isn't that crazy? Dude, that video is actually very sentimental to me because a lot actually happened after I posted that video. It's a very, very fragile time in my life. I'm not gonna lie. This video right here. It's just funny because 1 week after I launched this video, I found out that my girlfriend was cheating on me. And it just completely changed everything in my life because everything just went south and I just locked in and I was able to make, yes, I did hit my goal of making 100K that year. And I made it purely from crypto and helping projects grow to 10,000 followers, 0 to 10,000 followers. I use the Doobie law, exactly. I use CMOX. Ghosty is decent too. Yeah, I made a vibe coding tool for terminal. I just switched off of it, the Doobie law. All right, let me check your DM. I don't understand like what it actually does though. Like if I get Ghosty or something, like what does it actually do? Yo, Drew, did you message me on X or Discord? Can you send it on X, please? All 5 PO fixes are pushed. Here's what was fixed. 35. The remaining gap is P1 hardening. Let's continue. Work in parallel using agents with independent pieces. Reduce completion. Queue passing is incorrect. Scans every time name in queue, including non-active sections, and check validated true against the home file instead of the selected entry. The same shit, but it's easier to manage the multiple terminal windows. There's tabs among other utils. Okay. That's cool. Vibecoding terminal. Alright, let's have a look at, let's grill Drew's project, guys. So Drew made Lemonade. Get lemonade.dev. Stop running AI agents one at a time. Lemonade runs Claude Code, Gemini CLI, Codex, and more simultaneously, each in their own native terminal, one window, all your agents, $49 once, yours forever. This is cool. Nice. How'd you make the video? This is cool. Probably need to change this. Nice. Cool. Looks like it's just for Windows though, unfortunately. It's cool though. I think the website looks really clean. What made you want to choose Lemonade for the name? What up, Hobby Cesar? Yo, Joe Gum, what's good? Haven't seen you in the chat in a minute. Can someone make an app where Claude Code calls your phone and talks the response to you instead of having to read them? So it's like a phone conversation with your dev partner. Also, how are you guys getting such great UI design? Mac is coming, cool. Yo, Nice Brother looks good. Yo, made this game, good job. That's a cool idea. Mirakami. I think that's cool. Lemonade. Aid equals agentic development environment. That's cool. Please review. We'll send you a key when Mac launches. Legend. I'd love to try it out. What's your current setup for everything? Can you brief all the details? So on the left-hand side, and this isn't, I don't even know if this is like optimal right now. I'm very aware that this isn't the most efficient way to do this. But I want you guys to consider that I am in a Mac Mini, which is different to my actual coding setup, which is here. Now, in the Mac Mini, I've got my codecs on the right, I've got my Claude code on the left, and what I kind of plan to do is Claude code writes the code, I got codecs reviewing the code. I'm using both. Findings high, the change. There is a real improvement here. Queue passing is split into a dedicated module. States right now use locking, and the added tests are useful. I would not accept the P1 or 45% production ready for framing yet, because there's still at least one fresh correctness bug in the new hardening path, and the tests do not cover the high risk runtime behavior. And then I just get them to talk to each other. And I feel like that's how you get good builds. Hey Akash, what up, bro? Welcome back to the streams. Yo, how's the app going? Bro, were you in the live stream yesterday? How did you configure the back-end app security? Lots of hacks going on nowadays. Heard of something called the RLS issue. Dude, I've had to completely change the back-end of the app factory because Openclaw just broke on me, and I had a very frustrating stream, last live stream. So we're now using Agent SDK. So hopefully that fixes things. In terms of backend app security, like it's not that important for what we're doing with the app factory. Like for example, with Plant Pulse, there's no, all the data is local. There's nothing like that really needs that security. If you're building like a finance app, or like you're building like a crypto app or something, like it makes sense, obviously, like use privy.io or something. But as a plugin, it's built by Stripe, they're really good. But I don't know if you need to really think too hard about that for a plant app, you know what I mean? What happened? Basically, Openclaw broke because of a recent update that they brought out, which kind of actually messed up everything that our Openclaw was doing. And so I decided that I don't want to have a variable. I don't want to have a variable where Openclaw just updates and something breaks in the app factory. So I decided for scalability and more reliability, I took Openclaw out of the picture. I'm still going to use Openclaw to market my app factory, but I'm not going to use it to actually like build apps, like orchestrate the thing. If that makes sense. So Openclaw is for marketing and Agent SDK is for building. Yeah, that's what, in my head, I feel like that's what makes sense right now. But let's see. Let's see where we are a week from now, because things change pretty quickly, I'm sure, as you guys can see. What was the change that Openclaw made? They added a security. They buffed up the security and made it that Openclaw by default can't read your system files, and it just completely broke everything. And in hindsight, it was like a simple fix, but it just kind of gave me a bit of an epiphany where I was like, okay, like this could happen at a much worse scale. And then I was also just in the Discord talking to Nose Knight, and I was like, damn, like if I actually think about scalability and someone were to install this app factory, then the Openclaw actually adds like a spanner in the works, because you can't install Openclaw. That just adds way more complexity. But an agent SDK you can install into the packaging of the app. So it makes a lot more sense for scalability. How's the Stripe looking? I mean, we don't even use Stripe because the app factory builds apps in the App Store. So in order for that to work, it needs to use Apple's payment system. So the Stripe is empty right now. Could probably improve the UI while we're fixing. I thought I saw like, I can't tell if I saved like this skill or not for UI. Guess not. Why would anyone want your app factory? Won't they want the apps the factory is producing? It's twofold. Not only do we, for this challenge, Road to 100K, not only are we going to try to monetize from the apps that the app factory is producing, we're also going to try to monetize from selling the pickaxe in the gold rush. We're going to try and monetize by selling the app factory itself. It's twofold. Commit. How difficult is it looking for you to say maybe like generate 5K a month from any one single of your apps? And could you explain who and why will need Sheldon? Maybe so they have a ready to go prompt studio to produce apps of their own. I mean, you know, why wouldn't you want an app factory producing you apps autonomously while you sleep? Like that's literally like it's a money printer. Every single app is a lottery ticket. Now going to 5K a month, that's all this challenge is about. You know, we're only on day 43, but we're going to explore like how hard is it to, because Apple and iOS apps is completely out of my like comfort zone. I've never built Apple and iOS apps before. This is a completely new skill that I'm learning live with you guys. Like to get my crypto ore miner to 2K a month was relatively easy, but then I lost track of it and it kind of shat the bed a little bit and didn't bring in anymore. But I think the app factory and with the app factory with like, you know, being able to produce these apps, like you can already see one of the apps that we've launched, which is Plant Pulse. Once we do the marketing, we're gonna kind of see like, okay, like which plants are getting more traction than others. Trying to find it. Where'd it go? You can see, I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that, but this app right there, we launched and is live, Plant Pulse. And I think I want to get into the marketing side of things. But yeah, the app factory just keeps taking up so much time to fix. So I know I'm really late to this, but I just got Openclaw set up and through Discord. How can I start building the apps and making money like you are? Hey man, can't give away all the secret sauce, but I'm sure you can figure it out. I feel like I literally live stream everything, my entire process. So, you know, if you were to look through my footage, it's publicly available, man. I'm not gonna hand it to you on a silver platter, but all the information that I've learnt building this thing is out there. Why did you wrote you earn 47,000? Where's proof? Read the description, and the proof is the last 42 days of my live streams, where I literally live stream everything. I literally show, that is my proof. Every single time I make money, it's shown on the live stream. Like, I don't work on this without live streaming. So yeah, watch the last 42 days, man. It's great, and you're young too. Young money over the old age money. Yes, sir. Can I, someone who has zero idea about crypto, make some like 20K off this Solana thing? Probably not. You need to have a little bit of an idea, to be honest. You need to know where the opportunities are, and that takes a deep understanding of crypto, because otherwise you might just get scammed trying to chase quick money. How did you set up like API and stuff? Everything seems so expensive. I've watched all your reducing cost videos, but it's still difficult, bro. $200 Claude Max doesn't help. So like, what's the source, boss? I mean, are you using the $200 Claude Max plan? Because that's what I'm doing. I would say the source is like, if you're really on a budget, then use the Chinese models, man. Use Minimax, use Quen, use Kimi. You don't need to use these like high-end models to build what you want to build, you know? I just use it because I'm live streaming, and like I want to cut corners. I want to make it as efficient as possible. And I'm not too fussed about the money side of things. So I don't really care about the budget. But if you do have a budget, then, you know, use the Chinese models. There's heaps of deals out there. Everyone's trying to gain customers. I'm willing to learn though. Crypto money has always been tempting. I mean, you just got to follow the right people. The thing is, it's a lot of hands-on work. Like, you got to like understand yourself through reading articles and everything. Because if you try to learn from someone specifically, chances are they're probably getting paid to promote a certain project or something. And so you might not learn to the best of your ability. GLM, that's the one, GLM 5. I'm not on a budget. I can spend like 1K a month, but what's your current API setup and how much are you spending to be exact, boss? I can't even give you an exact number because I'm not like tracking it to the T, but it's around $1,000. It might be like $1,300. It might be $800. I'm not looking for it to build apps, but something like emailing people, getting response, and yeah, managing them, something business related. Yeah, I mean, if you have $1,000 a month budget, then you should just use, that's more than enough to use Opus. The other thing is you can use auto router. If you want to be somewhat, you can use Open Router, and they auto, based on the message that you send to your Openclaw, it auto routes it to like a more complicated model or a cheaper model. So that's definitely something you can do with the Open Router API. And so you're still getting the best of both worlds, where you're using a cheaper model for like simple tasks or a complex model for more complicated tasks, like building something. Hey, super interested in this. I'm currently starting a business in this field. Was it really only 43 days to make 47K? Are you selling business solutions? Yeah, it was. You can verify everything in the last 42 days of my live streams. I literally live stream everything. The one rule of this challenge is I'm not allowed to work on anything unless I live stream it. So everything is verifiable. You can literally go back. I'm not gonna lie, I did get really lucky on some of the things. Like one of them was a crypto airdrop that made me $37,000. So, you know, a part of it is also being able to find the opportunity. You know, my job in this challenge is to make 100K as fast as possible. So I knew that if I launched my app in the Solana app store, that there would be a lucrative airdrop coming. And that was very strategic. I knew that that would happen if I launched my app there. Everyone thinks you can only launch your app in Apple or Play Store. So you need to be able to find these opportunities as well. Maybe you just want to work on hackathons, build apps and launch and try and win hackathons. Like there's so many different ways to make that money, you know? Bro, GLM 5 is excellent in agentic task stuff. Cost you literally $80. Sorry if I'm coming greedy, but realistically, if I put in some time and read from good sources, is that Solana thing remotely achievable in 6 months? I honestly, I can't give you a date, bro. I'm not gonna say yes and then you waste 6 months and you're not where you want to be, you know? Yes, I'm using OpenRouter. And it ain't even a documents thing. It's a culture thing. You need to understand the crypto culture. The culture is what's hard to understand because crypto culture is very different to everything else. Thanks, brother. I really love your live streams. I'm digging into them. Guys, kid you not, everything is present when he got into Openclaw, bought Mac Mini. Everything is documented. Love it. I appreciate you, Bake. Thanks, bro. The business solutions would help you make the 100K quicker, isn't it? I mean, yeah, it would, but I don't want to. The whole challenge is vibe coding until I make 100K. It's not providing business solutions until I make 100K. You know what I mean? I want to be very true to what the challenge is. If I really wanted to scrap my way there, I could just use my I could get my YouTube earnings involved and stuff, but I'm not going to do that. I want to stay as true to this challenge as possible. Yo, shout out Vincent as well. If you haven't already, join Doobie's Discord in the link in his live stream description. Tons of people building cool things there that you can learn and grow with. Is Claude Code Max 20x worth it, or it's better to get into the Pro and for the extra usage, I just add the $200 instead of getting in the Max? Dude, Claude Code Max is 100% worth it. Are you serious? Dude, it's such a good deal right now. Currently, if you were to do the maths on like how much AI coding that you're getting for $200, they did the maths. You're paying for 10% of what you're actually meant to be getting, because they're giving you, if you look at the API tokens and how much it costs to code that amount in with the API, it's like $2,000. It's like $2,500. So they're subsidizing that with the VC money that they've got because they're trying to reel in users. Nose Knight, there he is. Okay, all 5 findings. Okay, continue. Can you make all the tutorial video? How can make setup? Because someone just watched your stream, they didn't understand. That's actually what I'm working on right now. I'm working on a Openclaw masterclass video where I'm going to explain and break down everything. Yo, Nose Knight, I heard you the second time around, bro. Thanks for repeating yourself. Appreciate it. It will be paid for free. I'll be releasing it on my YouTube, so it's free. Review. So for those wondering, I've got Opus 4.6 on the left, rebuilding the app factory, and I've got Codex on the right, reviewing it. Both in Openclaw? No, this is outside of Openclaw. Nose Knight, you a big pothead? Yo, we got 37 people watching the live stream and only 14 likes, man. Come on, man. Come on, show some support, boys and ladies. If there are any ladies in here. If Olkick's still watching. Whoa, what the hell? We just got 10 likes. We just jumped from 14 to 24 in like an instance. That's crazy. Appreciate y'all. What subscriptions would you recommend for someone starting a small business? ChatGPT or Codex? Or Claude or Higgsfield, or all are required? Someone starting a small business. You could just get away with ChatGPT, man. It depends what your use case is, you know? The use case is important. How do I get these two to talk to each other? It uploads a file on GitHub. So it's able to look at GitHub and understand like, okay, this is what's being built. Also, they both have access to all the files inside of the Mac Mini. But I will say this isn't the most efficient way. They could be more connected. They're a bit disconnected right now because it's two separate terminals. There's nothing really connecting them. No repo, no nothing. So Max for Claude and Pro for GPT. Yeah, that's what I do. We don't have like agents to auto like yet. Yeah, true. Maybe I gotta build that tool. Auto liker. I'm a designer and I want to offer websites to new businesses locally. I would probably recommend using Claude subscription, and you could just get away with Claude. If you're the designer, then yeah, you should be able to make some cool websites using Claude Code, man. How old are you though? I'm 24 years old. I heard Claude has banned Openclaw intervention. So when you were using Openclaw, how were you still safe? Because I used the API. They've banned it for if you use it with your subscription, but they haven't banned it for the API. So I was using it through API. Is this the Doobie stack? I will learn more about this. I want to use the Doobie stack. I just have Codex on the right and Claude Code on the left. What up, Akram? I need to learn a lot. It is so overwhelming. I mean, you gotta split it up into phases, bro. Whoa. Yeah, split it up into phases, man. Like when it came to vibe coding, I literally started on Replit if you look at day one. And then slowly came out of Replit into Claude Code. And then we looked at Conductor and we looked at all these different agentic coding tools. Thanks, man. Do you recommend Openclaw for all business types or should I skip it? I think if you're very new to coding, then maybe skip Openclaw, or just if you do want to get into Openclaw, like it's really good for like CRMs and like email drafters and stuff. That stuff's really easy to do. You just need to look into it. I'm going to do a masterclass on Openclaw. And it's actually going to show you how to build an auto drafter for your email with Openclaw. So that should help. Love your videos, by the way. I showed your video to my friend, and that's how he got convinced to install Openclaw. Lol. No freaking way, dude. I love that. Are you still using it via API? I do not understand how it only 1K per month. Because I'm not using Openclaw to build apps. I'm using it to orchestrate the AIs that do build the apps. So therefore, the cost is actually a lot less because it's not doing a complex task. All it's doing is making the AI agents talk to each other. That's the whole point of this setup. What's best advice for me who wants to start coding from zero? I would say use Lovable or Replit if you have zero coding experience, because these guys handle everything. They handle the coding, they handle the deployment, they handle the database. So if you have literally no experience coding at all, just to get your feet wet, you should do something that just handles everything. Now, because of the convenience, it's going to cost you more and you are limited a little bit, but still, I was able to build Ore Miner, which generated me about $2,000 MRR when I first launched it. Okay. And I built this through Replit. So it's very possible to build profitable apps through these things. Okay. They're just going to be a bit more costly to build. So I would start there, and then you're going to understand how vibe coding works and what it is. And then you can go from there. Vince is pushing the Discord. If you haven't already, join Doobie's Discord in the link in his live stream descriptions. Tons of people building cool things there. I'm convinced Vince has a bot that's copy pasting that message every like 30 minutes. Bros, I'm a cheap Codex highest, GLM highest, Minimax lowest for its MCPs, working great. Claude always pissed me off with stupid limits. Vincent doing what Larry should be doing. Larry the marketer. Got it, I understand, I'm writing notes, thanks. All good, Bake. Appreciate you, bro. What about the N8N hype recently? Found about it on my feed. Hold on, give me a second, chat. I need to just get this working. We'll use Switch to Ferret when I release it. I will try it. I'll definitely try it. Depends. Are you gonna give me a key? Are you gonna give me a key that does it for free? So you did a crypto rug pull and you're counting that towards the money you made with Vibecoding? Where did I do the crypto rug pull exactly? Please refresh me. If you seem to know my lore better than I do, so please refresh. Oh, Vince, mate, if you're gonna give me free Claude Code tokens, then mate, I'll use that shit. 2,000 because of the Solana drop? No, I made $37,000 from the Solana airdrop. I made $2,000 from AllMiner, which is a autonomous, I guess in its simplest form, it was an autonomous crypto trading tool. You can even see the leaderboard. People were making good money. I wouldn't recommend using it now because I just haven't put any time towards it, so it's outdated. But we still have users. Like you can see 3 active people using it. You made a meme coin. Now on that, right? The reason we actually made it, and if you watch the live stream, is because we needed to submit our project into the Solana hackathon. Can't tell if it was maybe this one. And in order for our project to be connected to the hackathon, the simplest and easiest way, because it wasn't connected to Solana at all, was to launch a coin for it, yeah. And I was very straight up and open, like, yo, this is what we're doing, you know? Like, I don't know how that's a rug pull. How are you gonna call that a rug pull? Like, I literally made a coin for a Solana hackathon project. But hey, to each their own, bro. That's why I don't fuck with crypto no more too, because like, the crowd is not what I want to deal with, to be honest. Okay. The tests are still running. I'm waiting for the results and then I'll close with concrete review findings only. The tests are still running. Wait for the background terminal findings. I've been playing around with Openclaw, maybe too much. I'm using it as a research bot, but maybe I should focus on learning Claude Code. I think you should learn both simultaneously. Openclaw, you can, get it to do cool shit for sure. Claude Code, you can get it to build like the systems for it to work inside of. Super design. I actually haven't. Bitcoin and ETH are the only big names. In Bitcoin still, there are so many crypto richies out there. Are meme coin millionaires still a thing where every day a new coin holds an opportunity with risks? Yes, but it's way less. So like, meme coins aren't popping off right now. So if you were to try and trade them, your chance of making money is a lot less than it was back in the day. AI-powered design platform for creating beautiful interfaces and experiences. This is cool. It takes you straight. Build a website for, build a landing page for my YouTube brand. No way this actually works off rip. Yeah, thought so. This looks really cool. Have you tried it, Jeremy? Raw firm, a brutalist. Ah. This is cool. Really cool. Nice. Let's continue. Yo, open source, that's cool. Haven't tried it, but been watching a bunch of videos about it. There isn't much yet though. I might need to test it. Okay, cool. Continue. Yeah, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick. I'll be back, guys. One sec. Okay, now you made me confused. I have $500. What do I spend them on? I mean, it depends on your is he pooping? Is he pooping? It depends on your coding experience. Tangents. You know, if you have zero coding experience whatsoever, do Lovable. If you have a little bit of coding experience, you're comfortable with the terminal, try Claude Code. And I think just look at those two. GPT, I don't think you need to bother with. Claude is agentic coding. I think it's much more agentic than Codex. So if you're like a beginner like me, who has a lot of non-technical experience, then I would say to focus on that, on Claude. Lovable if you have no experience whatsoever. Hey, capturing the third, what up? Oh, I'm really nervous to see how this app factory is gonna come out, man. Could you read my message from above? How do the websites with zero paywalls but high traffic make money? Is it only the ad revenue and the optimistic belief of the owner to sell it off for good money one day? Or you got to think about the website as a funnel. You know, what is the website funneling you to do? Is it funneling you to do a newsletter? Is it funneling you to maybe it's affiliate links? Maybe it reviews apps or it reviews products. And if you click on that link, it's an affiliate link. So you get a percentage of the purchase. There's so many different ways outside of paywalls to make money with websites. That's why people say attention is the new currency. Did you talk about Nemo Claw earlier? No, I have not. How's everything going, brother? Yeah, it's going good, bro. It's going good. We actually crashed out last live stream because our Openclaw just completely shat itself. So we're currently exploring Agent SDK to build our app factory again. GPT subscription gives you Openclaw GPT 5.4 credits for super cheap though. Officially supported too. Yeah, but that's for Openclaw. His question wasn't around Openclaw. Is your Openclaw orchestration Claude Code and Codex? Mine always tries to do everything himself, even with it all set up. It is just Claude Code, my Openclaw. And then it's like different AI models underneath it. Agent SDK from Google? Nah, from Claude. Claude Agent SDK. Peace out, Akash. What the heck? For real? Yeah, bro. For real. I haven't looked at the Google one yet. I just went straight to Claude's Agent SDK because I know that they're solid. Why making it all again though? What happened? I wasn't here yesterday. So what happened was Openclaw, our orchestrator, wasn't firing cron jobs, which is all it does, by the way. Our Openclaw literally just fires cron jobs to operate and run our AI agent autonomous app factory, and it gets them to talk to each other. And I kind of realized, I was talking to Nose Knight, Van, and some other people in the Discord chat, and kind of just had an epiphany where I was like, okay, well, you know, if we're to actually package this and sell this as a product, it makes sense that it's as scalable as possible, and Openclaw configuration is just going to create errors and bugs that people are going to complain about. So alternatively, what we can do is we can use the agent SDK to actually run the thing, and we can package that into the app. And then it got me thinking about packaging, and I was like, hang on a second, I haven't even thought about that. And so now we're kind of like backtracking a little bit. It's so expensive to run Openclaw without ChatGPT subscription. Yeah, I'd honestly recommend using Openclaw with ChatGPT subscription. I just haven't gotten around to it. Your Claw runs in Claude, or Sheldon is using Claude code? My Openclaw runs on Claude, which is called Sheldon. My Openclaw's name is Sheldon. Get it? Sheldon. Makes sense to make it more plug and play. Yeah, exactly. Like, might as well get the headache over with so I don't have that headache down the line, you know? It's 10 minutes on this task now. Your Figma connects with Claude Code, right? Now features a bi-directional integration that allows developers to turn AI-generated code directly into editable Figma layers. It uses the Figma MCP server to capture live rendered UIs from localhost. Interesting. Still going. Yeah, through MCP, Figma can connect. Might need to test that out. I see you are using the AirPods Max. Do they have a microphone built in as well? Yeah, they do. Although I'm using this for my microphone. I was thinking of getting it as well to use with my Mac, but haven't checked if it has a mic yet. It does have a mic. It's pretty decent. But for the price, man, I'm not gonna lie, there's better ones out there. There's better headphones out there for the price. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of regret buying it. I wish I got like the Sony. I wish I got the Sony ones, man. I spend $20 a month on GPT Plus. Whenever I run out, I use my wife's Codex Auth. That's so funny. Love that. Just checking to see. Sometimes it auto installs it. That launch ran now in Python. Did it use Codex for review in the pipeline? Please list out the entire pipeline for me so I know it's the same. Do you believe money is infinite? No, of course not. Yep, all right. Well, might get those then. Here's a philosophical question for you. While we wait for Claude to do its thing, do you believe money is infinite? I don't think money is infinite. I mean, it depends from what perspective. Are you talking on an individual perspective, or are you talking on like a economical perspective? Because if you think of from an economical perspective, then yes, money is infinite. You can print as much of it as you want. But I think the value that the money represents is not infinite. So if you have, let's say, a world that is worth $1 million, and then you print 100,000 bills to represent that $1 million, you know, do you verify the bills being printed, or do you verify the money or the value of the world, you know? Does that make sense? I'm just getting started with Openclaw. Roughly, how much are you looking at for monthly cost? It's about $1,000. Also, did you use a Mac Mini build? Yep. To be honest, with Openclaw, I had been using it as well. I think it still requires too much of configuration to make it useful. Surely there is a better experience that can be created. It is against terms of service to get another GPT plan subscription on a different email. Was thinking of subscribing to GPT Plus on another account to double Codex credits. Triple if I count my wife's account too. Opportunity to earn wealth, money, perspective. Sly Fawn, what up? Real money like Bitcoin or gold is not unlimited. That's a good point. What looks solid? That keeps the win while staying aligned with the artifacts. Let me fix finding one. Live status not updated after successful rebuild, since that's a real bug. There's nothing high, which is good. Still no direct evidence here for review, execution, monetize, deploy, or execution on this project or package app behavior. So critical ideate, build, review, path proven is fair only in the sense that the project reached review, not that the review phase itself has been exercised. That's a good point. The core claims are now much stronger. That keeps the win. Okay. I'm happy with that. What would be the best thing to make? Oh shit. Nice. This tells me that it's working. What would be the best thing to make money within a month with Vibecoding? I mean, that's not the best way to think about it, man. Like you can't think about like quick money. You need to think about that's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, sure, you can do that, but you're looking at it kind of the wrong way. You need to look at it on what is the problem that someone is facing that is willing to pay to fix it. You know? And then it's like, okay, like let's say the problem is when they're in a meeting, they talk and then they forget and they don't want to write notes. Okay, build an AI note-taking app. Charge X amount. Look at your competitors. You know, that's you got to look at it like not how can I make money within a month. Yo, App Factory working. It produced posture pin. It's looking good. It's looking okay. Oh, nice. Nice. Cool. Nice. Welcome to Posture Pin. Yes. Dude. Okay, I don't know why it's doing the thing like this. Nice. Nice. Quick posture check. Nice. This is cool. AI check. Dude. It built this fully autonomously without me having to do anything. It's even got glass morphism. Look at that. Clean. Now, why is it horizontally? Not entirely sure why it's looking like that, but we're making some really good progress right now. Dude, that's how we do it. That's how we do it. I'm actually most scared about what the App Factory is going to look like. The functionality seems to be working fine. The icons look really good, which tells me Gemini's Nano Banana 2 is being used, because the icon doesn't look that good unless you're using Nano Banana. I can just tell that from a fact. So good to know that it's actually using the right processes. That actually tells me a lot. Vincent's come in with his automated response. Join the Discord if you haven't already. Are you releasing on Android too? No, just on the Apple App Store. Nice. I like the meditation. Look, they got a pin posture thing. It's looking good. Why is it doing that? I'm noticing it closes instantly. Okay. Is it waiting? But then it goes sideways for some reason. Like, what are you trying to do, bruv? Slash, by the way, the simulator is horizontal rather than vertical. Not sure why. I don't know if that works, if that's going to be added into the thing. If you develop using React, you can release on both iOS and Android with minimal changes, I heard. Yeah, but I'm not really interested in Android. I just want to focus on Apple. Apple has 30% market share of mobile devices, but 70% market share when it comes to actual in-app purchases. So my focus is on the audience that is higher value. And also I use an iPhone. So I want to build apps that I can use myself. I'm building for me. And if I build for me, I'm sure other people want to use it. Because at the end of the day, you try to be everywhere at once. Like, you're not going to build the best product. You know? All mine was built on React, and I didn't enjoy it. I think it's way nicer building on Swift. The apps look cleaner. There's a lot of support with Apple, how they've built a lot of templates. Like, it's actually easier, I'm finding. Oh, nice. I can see posture pin here. Dude, I really like the icon. If you aren't looking to spend $1,000 a month, what would you recommend to implement AI? I'm looking for automation of work. I mean, honestly, man, unless you're a power user, it's hard to spend $1,000 a month. Like, especially if you're a beginner, like, you're not gonna spend $1,000 a month. Like, use Claude Code Max plan, use ChatGPT's plan. Like, it only goes up to $200 there. And if you just use one of those plans, you should be sweet. What's your tech stack? Just curious on what the backend should be on a mobile app like the one you're building. Tech stack is literally just Opus to build everything. I had Openclaw to orchestrate, but now I'm using Agent SDK and Codex to review, Gemini, Flash for any in-app AI kind of use cases. I use Gemini Flash. My day job, this is my day job. This is what I do. I'm in AI and vibe coding full time, man. I placed a big bet in this space and I'm here to just do this full time. Publishing on Play Store is hell. I see that. With Openclaw, yeah, just use ChatGPT, man. ChatGPT OAuth for Openclaw. You can get away with the $200 plan, easy. Nice. You can literally see it going through the phases. Now I'm assuming it's taking this long because it takes 5-minute cron jobs to get it to go to the next phase. Realistically, it would be a lot faster than this. Damn, that's the dream. Bro, for real. I mean, it doesn't pay the bills. I mean, it does pay the bills, obviously. But I didn't think it would. It's paid the bills up until now. Let's put it that way. But when I started, obviously, I was making a big risk, right? Like, I didn't know if this was going to be able to sustain my living. So it was just chewing into my savings a lot. Sometimes you got to take the risk, you know? I'm really happy that I did because I feel like I do something that I enjoy now. What's the browser you have open? Replit? No, I don't have Replit open. This is this is the local host for the dashboard. What changed? Where did you find the breakthrough? I mean, I made $37,000 on a crypto airdrop, which is pretty nice. But I don't know. Nothing's really changed, to be honest. I've gotten smarter on how to vibe code apps. I could have never imagined myself building something like an autonomous app factory when I first started out, but here we are, you know? You just need to lock in and, you know, you put enough hours in and you're going to get good at something. You know, that's as simple as that. Wish I could go all in soon. If I start matching my current income, I'll definitely go all in too, but it'll probably take a few years. The cheat code there is like, you know, build up some savings. Can you go more into detail as how you made 100K Australian dollars in 2025 with crypto and how you ditched the poisonous woman that cheated on you? Yeah, sure. So basically, I'll law dump on you right now. But if you look at my YouTube channel, right, you can kind of see what I started doing after I posted that video. I got deep into Etsy, okay? And the way that I did Etsy was I would generate AI images and sell them to people on Etsy. If we go to Etsy right now, probably see my... maybe not. I could try and find it. Quirky cool PNG Teddy design. But I'd basically sell images like this. We can't really find my account right now, but sell images like this. And it got to the point where I was making like $600 a day, okay? And that's kind of what I was doing. And then she cheated on me and I took a break because I was like, okay, screw this. And I took a little break. And in that break, what kind of happened was through Etsy and selling these AI generated images, I actually got really good at generating AI images. Like this is 2 years ago, right? So AI image generation has just come out. No one really knows how to use it properly. I literally got a enterprise subscription for Midjourney, and I just went hard and learned how to generate AI images like this. And I got really good at it. Found out how to deliver it in a professional manner where, you know, you wouldn't get complaints. If I was able to find my account, you guys could see, like, I've literally got 5-star reviews, no issues, right? And in that break, obviously I'm big in crypto. I went into crypto and I had this kind of idea where I was like, I wonder if I could use my AI generation skills to create an NFT collection. And so I was like, I'm going to create a collection of cute cats and I'm going to sell it for free, completely for free, because I just want to do this for fun. And there were 1,100 of them, and I generated them with AI. And the images of those cats, we had 1,100. Okay, we had a collection of 1,100, and I kept 100 for myself because I was like, okay, if we're selling this for free, I want to have 100 for myself. So we sold it, and it blew up. It blew up. AI image generation has just come out. I'm one of the very first people to create an NFT collection with AI, and it blew up. And that's where I learned about marketing. That's where I learned about how to sell something in crypto. That's where I learned about like what people are interested in when it comes to like crypto and like NFTs and stuff. And so it sold out in 3 seconds. A free collection that I launched, in 3 seconds it sold out. And on the secondary market, it actually blew up to the point where it was selling for $100, $200. And I was like, holy shit, what the hell? And so I started selling my 100 that I held. And in that 1 week, I made like $20,000 just from selling these AI image generated NFT collections. And it kind of blew my mind because I was like, okay, so you're telling me I spent an entire year on Etsy generating AI images to sell to, you know, whoever wanted them. And in that entire year, I made like, I'm going to say like $4,000. And that same skill set that I learned here, when applied here, it made me $20,000 in a single week. You get me? And so then what ended up happening was I was like, okay, and it's not like I would say anything either. It was just art. At the end of the day, it was just art. I wouldn't promise anything extravagant, like we're going to change the world. This is it. It was just art. I was like, look, this is just an art collection. And people liked the art enough to want to buy it. And at the end of the day, it was free. And so this kind of created a reputation because it was like, okay, this guy launched a collection for free and it pumped all the way to $200. Like, what's the next thing that he's going to drop? And so I dropped another art collection and that did well as well. And then I dropped another one and it kept doing well. And during that time, I learned a lot about marketing because if you're just launching an art collection, how are you going to get people interested on art? You know, you need to market the collection. And so I learned a lot about organic marketing. I learned a lot about the design and what people are interested in. And that's how I kind of started my journey. In that very year, I made over $100,000. And that exact skill set is what led me to my agency work. So yeah, that's kind of the full lore on this video and what happens afterwards. Nah, not $600 a day. It was $600 a month. I did literally the same Etsy shit like 3 years ago. Scraping best, making them better. Yeah. Yeah, same. That's pretty cool, bro. Me too, with Midjourney and Samuel. You got to be in the right room at the right time to sell anything. Yeah, bro. For real. But that's kind of the full lore on me, boys and ladies. I don't think I've ever actually said the full lore before. So it wasn't $600 a day though. It was 600 a month. And that was after an entire year of working on this Etsy store. Like there were months where I wasn't making that, you know. I was making a lot less than that. Yeah, I'm on my AI agent arc now, for real. This is the next big thing. And I kind of want to just go hard on this, man. I want to have the biggest AI community. I want to grow the biggest AI community, a place that all of us can just hang out and enjoy each other's company, man. Because I feel like we don't have that available to us yet. I don't think there is one that I'm happy with. So I want to build that. And it's going well. I feel like we got a really strong community. Dude, I burnt my hand yesterday. Can you see that? Look at my hand. I burnt it and it's like gone all pussy. It's kind of gross. Probably a bit TMI, but yo, this is really cool UI. It built all of this by itself, by the way. Can I just say that? I'm wondering if Agent SDK is actually making the apps better. Dude, this looks really freaking good. Wow, I'm really impressed. Posture pin looks amazing. Yeah, crappy Midjourney couldn't make the images transparent, so you had to freaking use like Canva or like I would use Photoshop and like have to get the lasso tool and make it like transparent. That's so funny that you brought that up. Yeah, dude, Midjourney, man, would have freaking generate the images transparent. Did you build this dashboard? I'm assuming Vibecoding. Yep. I have a question regarding your previous NFT art. What was the value point for people to buy those NFTs from your collection? Well, it's all speculation, right? In crypto. So it came down to, you know, people saw that it did well and then they were like, oh, they saw that my first collection did well and they were like, oh, the second collection must do even better. And so that it was like this FOMO, it was speculation. It was the art being cool. It was like a factor of things, right? But at the end of the day, crypto is all hype. That's kind of what the takeaway that I found. Crypto is hype and speculation. So if you're able to convince an audience that, you know, your project is hyped, people care about it, and that there is a future or that there is a speculative price behind it, then you can basically sell anything. So let's say, for example, you are able to convince an audience that your art piece is worth a lot more than it is. At the end of the day, art is subjective, right? So how do you do that? You get a lot of attention, like so much attention that you're getting thousands of likes on your post. If you're getting 1,000 likes on your art post, then it's gonna look like you have a lot of attention on your art, right? People are gonna want to collect it. So if the fact that you think, you know, if you sell your art for $1, people are going to be like, oh, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to spend $1 on his art. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the whole point. Yo, Thomas, got a new member. Welcome, man. Glad you could make it. Welcome to the membership. You're going to have like a cool name when you text in the chat now. So they bought the perception of it could be worth something. Yeah, exactly. That's all crypto is. When you buy Bitcoin, when you buy Ethereum, when you buy Solana, that's all it is. Would you use VO versus for web app coding? I have a membership through work. Yeah, VO is really good, man. VO is a very good starting point. Etsy is basically women getting art for their t-shirts or mugs. Yep, pretty much. I'd even say it's for grannies, man. It's for grannies to like have embroideries for their shirts, or like maybe they're trying to start their own business, so they want like to add your design into Printify. It's pretty funny, man. I definitely think if you stuck to it, you could definitely see some results, but I don't know, man. It was a bit too slow for me. And it got to the point where if you're doing like 50, if you do like 50 like designs for a single listing, like that shit can get time consuming. Have you ran your marketing sprint for any of the apps yet? Yeah, I did. I ran it for Ore Miner, which did really well. I ran it for Ore Miner, and it generated $600,000 in revenue. It got me this airdrop. We had the co-founder of Solana retweeting it, who right here, who has over 770,000 followers. He gets retweeted by Elon Musk. So I would say it was a good success. But I will say this is because it's in crypto, and I'm very familiar with crypto marketing. We're kind of in an area where I'm less familiar, you know? We're building apps on the Apple App Store, where you know, my marketing expertise is probably not as high as I would want it to be. Thank you, my friend. I got into Vibecoding recently using GitHub Copilot and VS Code, and use it to create free games for the web. Yo, that's a cool use case. You got any cool games that you built? YouTube doesn't let you send links, but I'm curious what you built, Thomas. Currently working on changing the game. That's me. The hero we deserve making games. Well, the best way to learn something is to put in the reps. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, man. That's definitely one of the biggest teachings that I've learned through my experience is if you want to get good at something, just go and do it. Yo, 80%. Starting deploy stages. It's going through the entire funnel through a completely new system that we've built. I think we can go ahead and just maybe test it and submit it. I've always got a lot of ideas, but never had the skills to build apps. I feel like Vibecoding is changing the game. Bro, I completely agree with you, man. I've always had like ideas on ideas, right? And I feel like I've always had to rely on a developer to build out my ideas. And you know, it's kind of annoying because I feel like I move very quickly, and developers, I mean, obviously if you have a good developer, I'm sure they can move quick as well. But you know, I was hiring like an agency, and they would take like 3 months to build out my idea. And I'm like, dude, I'm already like, you know what I mean? Like it was just a bit frustrating because it was like, all right, the validation for the idea, it might have been on a trend. It might have been on like, imagine if Openclaw, you want to build an Openclaw launcher. And so you reach out to a agency and you're like, hey, can you help me build an Openclaw launcher? You would have missed out on that really narrow moment where it was just super popular because you went with it with an agency. And I feel like Vibecoding really unlocks any individual to bring their idea to life, which is cool. Can you explain this dashboard more? Yeah, for sure. So basically this is the app factory, and at the top you can see all the apps that are ready to submit to the App Store. I'm not going to do that because we've actually already got a bunch submitted which need review. but this is basically showing us what's being built. So we can open it and we can see all the research that our agents have done, the pitch, target user, the features. It looks at the pain points. It goes on subreddits like personal finance, and it's like frequently reporting being charged after forgetting to cancel free trials. And it compiles all this into like a report to validate our idea. You know, the App Store landscape. It looks at other competitors and how they've come up with their app idea. It looks at negative reviews and, you know, is there a certain feature that people want but they don't have? It looks at, and then it kind of compiles all that into the reasoning, right? It gives you scores as well. You know, market viability is the subreddits and the X research. Differentiation is going to be through the competitor research. Monetization, it chooses between trials and like a freemium model. AI integration is a big one, where I'm trying to get every single app to integrate AI in some shape or form, because I feel like if we create an app in a niche that's quite old, maybe what can differentiate us is the AI aspect, you know, because AI has only just come out. So I think there's a way for us to launch apps specifically with AI integration. Build feasibility. Obviously, the app factory isn't Jesus. It can't build anything and everything. So, you know, it's essentially can only build like somewhat simple apps. So build feasibility is also a big one. Like, you know, is this a bit too complicated for the app factory to build? And then it also goes into like, how much would a user value this app if it was around? And then it also goes into potential keywords. It goes into monetization strategy with a bit more in depth. And then all of this is basically being fed into our into our Claude Code builder, who then builds out the app. Are you giving access to the dashboard itself? I'm selling the autonomous app factory, and hopefully it helps me reach my goal of 100K. That's kind of the plan. But it will probably be a closed group to start, like maybe 10, 20, 30, and then we'll increase it in batches. Can I add my app to your Discord to show off, bro? Of course, you can add it into the show off channel. That's what it's meant for. Are your agents calculating total addressable market size to validate if there is actual market out there for the product? Yeah, of course. That's partly done through competitors, you know? You've got Upright that's got 4.6 stars and 3,916 ratings, you know? These human developers going to steal everything and you have to pay them too. I'm very grateful AI got us. Dumbasses Vibecoding lol. Are you giving any under the radar must have GitHubs to download? Kind of put me on the spot, man. Not really sure. Claude Code API for Openclaw, right? Yep. I'd actually say ChatGPT, bro. It's cheaper. Claude Code API is expensive. If you use Chat Codex using OAuth for your Openclaw, it's way cheaper. And it would get you there, man. How's the build going? We're 80%. It's been churning for 34 minutes. That's 34 minutes of me not doing anything, by the way, guys. I literally haven't touched anything. I've just been talking to you guys this whole time. How is your terminal saying only 2.6k tokens after 33 minutes of work? Because, like I said, it's the orchestration layer. It doesn't actually do the work itself. It gets the other AI agents within the workflow to do the work. So it's building this app through the orchestration layer. That's a good sign that the orchestration layer is working how it's supposed to. All the orchestration layer does is it makes the AI agents talk to one another. So for 33 minutes, all it's doing is every 5 minutes sending a heartbeat. Oh, submitted. Yo. Dude. It's actually fully done the whole phase. I'm very, very impressed. I thought it was going to be a lot more messing around. Yeah, but you can't use OAuth Claude for Openclaw. Only API, no? Yeah, with Claude Code you can't, but for ChatGPT you can. So I reckon ChatGPT is a better option for Openclaw. Is that above your regular subscription? Not sure what you mean, bro. Like if you had to pick one model for Openclaw, I would just say use ChatGPT's Codex, man. Okay, finally. Already captured. It's still already captured. Okay, just like the other app. Let's go ahead and copy. This was from ChatGPT's review, by the way, which I'm pretty impressed about. Let me go ahead and just see if we were to open up and deploy. This should send a test. This should be able to send it to our test pilot. I don't know if you saw my message earlier. Would it just be easier to drop the link in Discord, assuming it's allowed? Yeah, of course. Just drop it in show off, Thomas. I think the YouTube would have flagged your link, so we didn't see it. To attach ChatGPT to Openclaw, I already pay for the subscription. Would this connection be included, or are you pay? Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. So that's why you should connect your ChatGPT to your Openclaw, because it just charges from your subscription. Okay, we're in this. All we got to do is click this, distribute up. Oh, they got another icon there. That's cool as well. Although it was unnecessary, which we might need to talk about later. All right, while this is going, I'm going to take another piss. One sec. that. Sick. App Store Connect. Go into apps. And there it is. It didn't upload with the icon. Let's go ahead and let me just check if it sent me a test flight email. Didn't send me an email. But there we go. End to end is complete. Cool. That's pretty exciting. I'll probably end the stream here, guys. We basically rebuilt the entire app factory end to end. Now, I think the next step is tomorrow's live stream is just going to be making sure everything is synced up properly. But yeah, super happy with the progress that we made today. Thanks for keeping me company, because I literally had Claude Code just running for 37 minutes straight. So I couldn't have even done anything. So thanks for tuning in on the stream. Thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Nose Knight. Thanks, Curryative, Mr. Geeby, Automator Lab, MDS Zilla, Tanjinx, Thrift Hunter, Drew, Nose Knight, Mr. Geeby. I'm just repeating names now, aren't I? Capturing the Third, Jerome, Jonah, Meme Kings, Slyfawn. Thank you. Jacob Bloom, Doc, Olkick, Akash. I'll catch y'all. Gel Gum, Johnny, Vince. Peace out. I'll catch y'all later. I'll see you all tomorrow, yeah? Same time. Peace out. If you guys want anything, just hit me up on the Discord. I'm super active in there. Peace out. See ya.